important to always start everything with an end in mind. Having a goal before you start something. You guys are crazy enough to show up for 17 hours of karate, and that tells me you're pretty serious about your karate. Because it'd be a lot easier to be sitting on the couch in front of a fire watching TV over this next few days, correct? But you're not. You're crazy enough to be here. So I take that pretty serious, which means I've got to make sure you go home with something very valuable. Hey? I'm not here so much just to teach technique, like, oh, make sure this hand's here and this hand's here, because your coaches can do that, your instructors can do that for you. So when I go and travel and do seminars, I just talk principles. I don't talk technique, because technique can change here to there, which is all fine. Who's been to Australia before for a tournament? Do you find they sort of do it a little bit different? Or who's been to another region in New Zealand, find they do it a bit different? Another dojo in your own region, find they do it a bit different? It doesn't matter, it's all fun. As Shion always says, focus on the 99% that's the same, and not the 1% that's different. So because of that, I'm not going to be saying, let's place your hand here, place your hand there, because it's all good. All roads lead to Rome, it's all fine. So when I discuss things, I always talk about principles, because principles can't change. Techniques can change, but principles can't change. The right technique with the wrong principle won't work. You pick a good technique like a reverse punch, if you don't apply the right principles to that, it's going to fail. It's a waste of time. If you do something that's the wrong technique, like a spinning hook kick, which most of us, that's the wrong technique. Why would you do that? If you do that with the right principles, then it could be a success. I'm not saying we're going to be doing spinning hook kicks at the end of this weekend. What I'm saying is that principles are everything. Sensei gave a statement, wrote an article a couple of shimbons ago about principles in karate, how principles are what save your life, techniques that save your life. So I'm going to be talking mostly about principles, so I want you to understand that. Two is we've got people here of various grades, various ages, various abilities, etc. Everyone just stand quickly. Everyone turn to face the doorway. Sensei. And facing back in again, together. We've got people here of various abilities, ages, etc. And it's important, well, I should point out that my goal over the next 3 days is to give you some sort of journey. We're going to sort of start at the bottom and we're going to work up. It starts pretty simple, but by the end of later Sunday, you'll be doing things that are a bit advanced. Because you're all at different levels, at some point on that journey, some of you are going to say, this is beyond me now. Just like when you do kata in class, or you go to a big seminar and they do all the kata and they go, if you don't know sess1, sit down. If you don't know MP, sit down. If you don't know sess1, sit down. And you keep going up. At some point that journey gets beyond you and you go, oh, this is not for me, and you sit out. But we're not going to do that here. We're going to keep going. I'm not saying we're going to be doing coconut things. I'm just saying in the journey for kumite, kata, everything, like the kata, not so much the kata techniques, the principles behind kata, the principles that when you add to whatever kata you do will make that kata special. That's what I mean. So even when I talk about principles, at some point, most of you will probably say, this is beyond me, you've just got to, I just ask you to keep pressing. Even when I teach, for example, with kumite, at a certain point, we all set off with the basics, lunges, reverses, lunge reverses, front kicks, all that sort of stuff. At some point, some people, they move to the next level and others stay on the basics. And then at some point, others move to the next level again, and at some point, others move to the next level again. And they know who they are, and I know who they are, and I'll just say, okay, those who go on, move on, and everyone else stay with this. Just like when you teach a normal class with orange belts, yellow belts, white belts, white belts do this, high grades do this, etc. But I don't know who people are here, I don't know your abilities. And it's not about belt level, because I have black belts that don't do certain things, and I have black belts that do certain things. I have red belts that do takedowns, and I have black belts that don't do takedowns. Because just different people are ready for different abilities. This is not a takedown seminar, I just threw that word out. So, your point is, at some point, you'll probably say, whoa, this is beyond me. Just persevere as best you can. I know some of the kids as well might find it difficult to concentrate over a long day tomorrow. It's not an hour class, it's a whole day. But again, just persevere. One thing I do anytime I do a seminar is I then summarize the seminar and then I email it out to everyone, to the instructors of everyone, and then so afterwards you'll actually get a summary of what you did and what you covered and why we covered it, etc. So just keep that in mind. Again, the whole idea of the principles is the fact that, has anyone seen Planet of the Apes? The new one? one with Mark Wahlberg, not the Charlton Heston. The dodgy one. You blew it up! Not the Charlton Heston one. But the Mark Wahlberg one, where towards the end the ape gets the gun off him. And the ape's got this gun, which is a weapon, correct? The ape doesn't quite know how to use the gun. And at first when the ape picks up the gun, Mark Wahlberg's all nervous. Oh my God, it's got the gun. And then he realizes it doesn't know how to use the weapon. Hey? So, and in a lot of ways with karate, a lot of people have these weapons that they've been trained with, but they don't quite know how to use them. They know, for example, if I'm in trouble, if I do this, that will hurt somebody, but they don't understand a lot of the other weapons that they've got, even just the weapon in the stance, the weapon in the way you move from stance to stance, the weapon in the block, etc. More will be revealed as we go. But they don't understand the way in which they should best use their weapon, hence the principles I'm talking about. Hey? So that's the ultimately the goal. Hey? Yeah, who's competing in the World Cup? Okay, fantastic. So again, you just go along and if I try to punch faster than that other person, maybe I'll win. It's not about speed, it's about how you use your weapon, it's when you use your weapon, the way in which you use your weapon, etc. Hey? And being in a position where I can punch you but you can't punch me just because of the position I'm in while I'm punching. You follow? Rather than just trying to be quicker than you, because then it's just whoever's fastest wins, and that's not what karate's about. Hey? So, you know, a big, strong, fast, aggressive guy attacks you on the street, he's faster than you. What are you going to do? Oh, damn, you're faster than me. You know, here's my money, here's my wallet, here's my life. But you've got to be smart about what you do. Hey? So that's why we're going to be focusing on principles. Two, the other thing is that if you want to do well in tournaments, what some people do, some students get into the habit with tournaments, is they focus too much on, for example, who wants to win a gold medal at the Kumite World Cup? Kumite World Cup. Okay. I want to win a gold medal. Okay, great. So we're doing class, and it's like, hurry up and get to the Kumite, because I want to win a Kumite gold medal. Because they don't understand that this is training them for the Kumite gold medal. Follow? They don't understand that this is training them for the Kumite gold medal. Not training like this, but that, in other words, just moving forward. They don't understand because they don't see how karate links. Hey? They don't see how it all links together and how by training in one area, you're also training in another area. Hey? Now, I'm sure you all understand, well, this is exercising, this is making my muscles faster, but it's more than that. There's a lot more to it than that. Hey? So that's why we're going to be trying to do this, because you talk about principles, and then what happens is if you say, okay, now I understand that if I do this better, it'll make that better, and it'll make that better, and it'll make that better. Hey? So the next time you go to class, you just train more with more intensity through the basics. You do this with more intensity because you understand that there's value in this for this reason. Hey? But if you don't see the value in it, then you'll just sort of like, I'll just pace myself, Sensei's not looking, because, Sensei's looking, Sensei's not looking, because it doesn't matter, I'm going to be doing this in the ring, I'm not going to be doing head level block. You follow? So I'm trying to link it all together because you'll find that, or you'll find with my students, most of them from word go to word end, that's a word end, that they will just push themselves from word to go with the right mentality because they know exactly the value of everything they're doing. That's alright. That's alright. They know the value in everything they're doing and they're linking it together. Hey? Because what happens is that, who's ever seen a movie and thought, that was a pretty good movie, but some of those scenes, they didn't even need to be there. Like, I don't have to explain. I don't know what the point of that scene was. I don't know what the point of that scene was. And the same can happen in your karate. The same can sort of thing. People go, I don't see how this is really relevant to helping me, so I'll just pace myself here. Sensei's not looking. Or it's just cipher. Like, I don't care. It's just an orange book cutter. I don't see how this is really relevant, so I'll pace myself for something that's later. Hey? Because you don't understand the value in what that has for. Hey? And so just like karate, just like that movie where some scenes don't seem quite relevant, so you kind of takes to detract from the movie. The same happens in karate. People see some parts of karate as not quite relevant, so they just switch off during those parts, and then ultimately it affects their overall progress. Okay? So again, that's one value.